Winter. Here in the Midwest, temps get well below freezing, and all I want to do on a winter's day is stay inside and drink hot chocolate. But what about the fish? What do they do? What do they eat? What are their eating habits? We're going to answer all those questions in this video. Firstly, fish decrease the number of times they feed, spacing out their meals to make the most of limited food source. The main reason they do this is because of the temperature of the water, because in winter, water temps drop drastically, which in turn slows down fish's metabolism, which leads to a decrease in their appetite. Because of their metabolism slowing down, they become picky eaters to target higher energy foods to maximize their nutrition intake. This is one of the reasons it's harder to catch fish in the winter is because they just don't eat as much. How about eating? What do fish like to eat in the winter? Some of the food that fish eat in the summer are not readily available in the winter, so what's on the menu for the fish? For bass and other predators, crawfish are a staple, because along with the fish slowing down, the crawfish slow down too, making them an easy target and a quick snack. Smaller fish often eat frozen invertebrate like water fleas and midge larvae. And algae too, even though it's winter, some still remain from the summer and fall months. I know what you may be thinking. Bugs? Really? Surely that's not enough food to sustain them till summertime. But as we learned earlier, fish don't need to eat near as much food as they do in the winter compared to the summer because of their metabolism. But why can't fish just eat minnows like they do in the summer? Since fish like to slow down their activity in the winter, for a bait fish it is also a survival technique as they can conserve energy and avoid predators. Fish also don't eat minnows because they like easy meals instead of having to chase prey and use more energy. That's why slow presentations work so well during these winter months. The last question, where do fish like to stay? Me personally, my bed. But fish don't have beds. I have always thought that fish like to stay in the deeper areas of the water during winter, and yes, that's actually what they do. Fish do tend to stay in more deeper, stable waters, where temperatures stay the same throughout winter, and it's slightly warmer than the surface. The water on the surface freezes at 32 Fahrenheit, as we all know, but the deeper you go, around 10 feet, gets up to about 40 degrees. So about 8 degrees difference, which is pretty good. Now, this is the part I like. Some fish burrow deep into sand and sediments and go dormant like frogs and other amphibians. Another reason fish like to stay behind structures, if they didn't have any structures, the water would push them downstream, and if they wanted to keep their position, they'd have to swim up and use more energy. But they don't like using energy in winter. So, they find rocks, sticks, and algae to hide behind to conserve some more energy. And yes, even in winter, the bigger fish gets the better spot, which means bigger fish like bass, pike, catfish, and trout get the deeper, warmer parts of the water, while bluegill, rock bass, crappie, and other smaller panfish get the shallower, cooler parts of the water. Winter fish are also more predictable than summer fish because fish tend to stay in the deeper areas of the water. If you find them there once, they'll be there the next day, the next week, and maybe even next year. Because in summer, fish are scattered, looking and chasing for prey, but in winter, they don't have the means to do that. Subscribe!